My husband is great, first of all. Secondly, he is a musician. He plays bluegrass. And one of the kind of foundational styles of song in bluegrass is the murder ballad. These are often songs, they're typically about a man enacting violence upon a woman. And they have a long, long history, primarily through Appalachia. And what has been lost about like the parts of them that have been recorded is that they were often sung by mothers to their daughters as warnings. So you'll get the first stanza where it's like, this is kind of what the woman did to get herself into this situation. The next one is what happened to her, what violence was enacted. And then the final verses are lost. Those were the verses that were about the lesson. They were about teaching like how to avoid these situations yourself. But of course, the people who were taking the records didn't think those parts were important to write down. So we've lost a lot of those. So therefore, murder ballads typically are kind of awful. They're beautiful, but the stories are often very violent and have very little lesson to them. So my husband came to me and he said, I would really like to write a murder ballad, but I don't want it to be awful. And he said, would you write me a murder ballad that's not super patriarchal? And I said, absolutely. So I wrote him this one, he got it, and he said, it's very beautiful, but it's too long. And I said, fine, give it back. And now it's mine. So this is Sweet Mary Lou, a double murder ballad. Trigger warnings for violence against women and violence against men. Sweet Mary was a beauty, caught everyone's eye, a sweet apple beauty, at my hand did she die. The moon shone cold on the river that night. I ordered up a whiskey trying to get my mind right. What happened next brings me tears of shame. So I'll tell you my story, but never my name. Mary Lou, she was a beauty. She was a beauty for sure, with hair like the night and lips like a lure. She caught my eye and dropped me a wink, so I flagged down the waitress and bought her next drink. Oh, she was spun candy sugar, sweet apples, and wine. I got lost in her starshine. Her night made me blind. She whispered, let's go. And I had to be with her. So we danced out the back right down to the river. We kissed in that moonlight with our toes in the sand. And that's when I noticed the ring on her hand. The gem gleamed white, the edge of a knife. She was another man's woman. She'd promised her life. Or her life she did promise him, and her life she gave. What my rage did next sent her right to the grave. Sweet Mary was a beauty, caught everyone's eye. A sweet apple beauty, at my hands did she die. My rage ran dry. I looked down at my fists. Her sweet blood stained them from knuckle to wrist. Her dark hair spread wide. Her eyes lost their light. Their emptiness took root inside me that night. A lie writ large led me to this abyss. I thought that she owed me because of a kiss. I longed to die. I ached to atone. And that's when I realized I wasn't alone. The waitress stood by, the one from the bar. So you can run from your sins, but you won't get far. She stood in the moonlight, a fire axe in her hand, as the blood of her friend ran red in the sand. The moon, the blood, the barmaid, the blade. The moon, the blood, the barmaid, the blade. The moon, the blood, the barmaid, the blade. Never as a man had I felt so afraid. I deserved that fear. I deserved that and more for everything I'd done to Mary Lou on that shore. Mary Lou, she was a beauty, caught everyone's eye. A sweet apple beauty. By my fist did she die. The moon shone cold. The maid stood tall. She weren't yours. She weren't any man's at all. She was wild, alive. A sister, my friend. Now everything she was and might be has ended. The maid raised the blade, the axe flashed bright. An eternity of wrongs she meant to set right. My blood met Mary's in a stream down the sand, and the last thing I saw was that ring on her hand. I stole her sweet kisses, stole the light from her eyes, like stealing the starshine straight out of the sky, like robbing the world of the stars in the sky and leaving y'all nothing but dead black sky. A white dress hangs quiet, a shroud on a rack. And her mama keeps asking, when will Mary come back? Mary Lou, she was a beauty, caught everyone's eye, a sweet apple beauty, for her kiss did I die. Now I've told you my story from the dark side of death. Don't ask my name, I ain't worth the breath. I got what was coming, what I deserved. At the hands of a barmaid, justice was served.